Good evening, everybody.
Hey, Rex.
Good,
Hello.
How are
Can you
you
hear me okay?
doing? I
good,
can
good,
hear
good.
you. Doing good, doing good.
I
Oh,
don't
oh,
like I don't like that her popping in here right when we're going into live. I just
well,
didn't.
Lex pops in where Lex pops in. We just got to deal with it, all right?
I had a
Well,
I had
y'all
a
lucky.
crazy toddler who
Y'all lucky we on live. So, but anyway, we are here with Lexe and Trudi and Anthony tonight on Clean Humor. We welcome y'all guys in here. We're going to get a little background on this young lady here. Get her to give her a little testimony and stuff. And we're gonna keep it as clean as possible
I got all
tonight.
the dirty stuff out before we went live,
Yeah,
Anthony.
we done Trudy done got all the dirty stuff out before we got on here. So anyway, so Lex, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into the business, and I think you kind of grew up in it a little bit from what I hear, but we're gonna hear your side of the story.
I
And
heard she just got into it about, 6 months ago, right?
what was it, 6 months ago?
I said you got into the industry about 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Wait, or you were 6 months old. That might be it.
that might be it. Six days ago. I started my dad's been in the industry for 15 years now, maybe 12 to 15. And my brother was also in the industry for 11 years. He started when he was 14, working in the summers, and then when he turned 18 and graduated, he went full time working at a shop in Jacksonville with my dad. And then I started there. I knew nothing, not even a quick connect. Um, no one, no one wanted me to wait on them because I simply knew nothing and I took too long to get orders together. So everyone would wait for my brother and I would have just be sitting there. So that like motivated me to like really learn the information within our industry. And then I just started deep diving it and I learned a lot. Now I'm 5 years in and I've learned a lot of things. I've been through a lot of things, a lot of lessons and tribulations. But I'm still here. Five years, I believe I've been in. So I started with my parents and then spreading my wings. Um, and now we're just chucking along.
Sorry.
somebody got a phone turned up.
That was me. I was going to read. It's not coming. I'll hit the chat. There you go. Sorry. The
Yeah,
chat.
we've talked a time or two um,
Hey,
off of live and away from everybody, and we've had a few heart to hearts. And like I always tell you, it ain't gonna kill you; it's gonna make you stronger.
Mhm.
And the good Lord's got you in His hands, and there ain't nothing gonna break you, girl. So you
amen.
just keep hanging in there and everything. But anyway, let's So where are you at now, and what are you doing?
Well, I was with Dieters, and they're phenomenal people all the way around. Ian, Mo, Dave, incredible team. I was working remotely, and like just brutal honesty. I think I jumped into it a little too soon after the situation that I had went through. I think I just jumped into it soon. We moved from Florida to New York, so that was
Yeah, that was a shock.
yeah, that was a huge move. Now we've been here for 2 months and I don't regret it at all. I mean, the traffic is next to none. We pay half of what we were paying for a house that we were paying for an apartment. I get to be home with my son. So I'm very thankful for everything that like led up to where I am. But Dieters and I ended up parting ways. So I'm freelancing at the moment and I've been twirling the idea of starting my own business and just being like a spokesperson, a salesperson, like doing media for multiple stores. I really love the industry and I don't want to leave, but I'm in New York now and there's not stores the way there are in Florida here in New York.
Right.
So thought about going solo, maybe going back to school. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot right now, but I think we all hit those moments in our careers, I'd say, because I've never thought about another career. The minute I fell in love with this one, it was always, what can I do to keep elevating in the pressure washing field? And then it just kind of got to a plateauing point, and I felt a little stuck. I mean, 5 years doing the same thing. I mean, working Monday through Saturday for 5 years straight, Monday through Saturday. And I put it all in there. So I was working around the clock, answering calls, answering texts, answering emails. Like I really put it all in there. And I think when everything that happened, I like woosawed and like I could breathe. And I think I just have a lot with myself and with my son that I'm, like I said, thankful for. So I don't know. I feel like I want to go solo. I don't want to own a store. Props to Trudi, but I don't ever want to own a store. My parents own a store. They live there 24/7. I managed a store. We were there 24/7. Like when you open that store, you're opening that door to like, this is all these people are my family now because I'm going to see them way more than I'm going to see anyone else. So I definitely don't want to open a store, but I've thought about tossing the idea of doing something on my own. Just feeling it all out.
Where you have time, you're not jumping into it like you did last time.
Exactly.
So
And I think
you can think and you can feel and you can just get settled with your inner person and know what I mean, I know you know what you want up here, you want in the industry, but you have to be good with yourself and the place where you're at to be able to grow.
yeah, I agree. And it's kind of a hard lesson because I went through doing all this and then it stopped. Like my phone doesn't ring nearly as much as it used to. I'm not like, I'm not like, I'm not as active in the groups as I used to be anymore. And I've noticed that within myself that like I'm not as full body diving into it as I used to. And I think that everyone just hits that moment where it's like, okay, I love what I do and I'm thankful for what I do. However, I just need to breathe for a moment. And I think I just got to that moment where it was like, you jumped from one thing to another, and it was like, okay, those were all moves that were great and they were, life lessons. And I feel like I grew a lot as a person going through those things that I went through. But it sucked. It was rough. It was really rough. And I think I just jumped into it too soon.
So you just kick back and relax and take your time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have a lot of support. Like this one thing this industry has is a lot of love and support, and it's for so many people. And the amount of love I received, and good words and encouraging words was just like, I really did make my mark in the industry, and I'm proud of that. And like, no one can take that because that was my hard work, that was my dedication, that was everything that I put into becoming who I am now in the industry. So it can be a lot. The industry can be very overwhelming. And we've all had those moments. It's not just me. I know we've all had those moments where it's like, what the heck am I doing? What am I doing and why? So it just got to that point. But yeah, we parted ways with Dieters. Like I said, no bad blood. Ian's awesome. Mo's incredible. Like all great things all about the team. I don't know. I'm still searching, I guess. Now I'm like stuck.
Or just don't get too stuck in a job where you can't get off in November to come down to Florida and see us all.
That's what I'm saying. And how do I have a conversation with someone not about the pressure washing field?
But with that being said, I mean, if you ain't got registered, you need to get there. PanhandleExpo.com.
I really want to go to Panhandle. I want to go to the huge. Yeah,
I'll go just to see everybody. But
I'll go. I got a free ticket, but I'm not paying for it.
Free ticket. Yes.
Last year was not good, and I hope and pray. I know they changed hands. They need to get out of that same location, and they need to make it more pressure washing.
They had it in Florida one year, and the year that they had it in Florida, I mean, everyone raved about it. And Florida's pretty big for pressure washing, so I was hoping that they'd bring it back to Florida, and it just doesn't seem like something they want to do at the moment.
A lot of people they're done with Nashville. We love Nashville, but I mean, I went to have breakfast. I had some oatmeal and some fruit and a mimosa because, you have to have that every morning there because the night times are fun. But,
well, not everybody.
Not you. No.
I know about a good time in Nashville.
But it was like $50. And I'm just like, I had oatmeal. If I would have known this, I would look for the steaks, but there were no steaks. So we got Alana here, Chris, and Antonio Curry says, "Hey, Trudy, the greatest." Oh, thank you. What's up, brother Anthony? And hey, Miss Lex, how's
Antonio
treating you? She's in New York. Antonio goes to the second Nashville, bring it back to Atlanta. And then Ron Musgrave is here. Hey, that's the two best gals in the industry. Good to see you both tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to let Anthony talk. My doctor told me I shouldn't talk as much. And last week I really overtook it because I was so excited about the event. So excited. So like just want to, just want to do it. But we did sign the contract and we're good to go. Same location. Gonna be awesome. And
Do you realize it's 7 months and it'll be here?
I know. I feel like I've been on my couch for 7 months.
7 months and it'll be event time.
What are you trying to scare me right now? Are you threatening me?
No, I'm telling you, you better get your butt well, girl.
There's a Trudi Mafia group out there. I've heard about them, but I don't. Oh no, cartel. There's a
I ain't
Trudi
scared of them.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we are really excited about it, and can't wait to get in there and dig our heels in and make it. This is the fourth. This is gonna be our 4th year.
This will be the 4th one here. I did do one with Ron up in Atlanta, Young Guns, which I was the only vendor there. So kind of half, not, nobody knew me then. I was just,
Well, Panhandle, Trudi experience.
The 5th one, because I did 2 in 1 year. I did January, November, and this will be the 5th one.
Okay. Well, 5th year, we're gonna let's make the 5th one to really remember.
So what we've changed, Lex, is we had the circuit training. We're still going to have it, but they were 45 minutes. We're making an hour. We're going to have 5 stations instead of 6. And we are giving the suppliers, we give them 2 hours of demonstration time so they can do their drone, they can use their dual pump or whatever they're coming to do. And then we have 3 spots for speakers and not 5, because we want everybody to network with each other and learn from each other. And so what we're doing is the more intensive classes are going to be held at Tuesday between 1 and 6. It's going to be the paver sealing, the striping, and maybe looking for another one. But we're going to have some that are going to be more intensive, like 2 or 3 hours, because you can't teach somebody striping or paver sealing the correct way in 5 minutes. So we're doing less. We're going to have less less classes and less speakers to make it more educational and hands-on. So it was amazing last year. It was amazing, and this year is going to be even better. I'm going to have some bubble wrap around my neck because I don't need this broken again next year. Or this year, because that was tough. I'm glad it happened after the event. That's all I'm saying. Winter, but I didn't get to make it.
We can also bring in a Dunkin' booth and put Trudi in it, and $100 a ball that you get to throw and get the dunker in the Dunkin' booth.
That's not nice. I'm claustrophobic. I will not go in that whole thing. I don't like water. I can't touch the bottom.
Lex, you volunteer? $100 a ball.
I think we can find another volunteer.
I think Anthony would be great.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
I don't care.
Where's $100 going to? What's it under charity? Something?
I don't know. We'll put it to something.
That would be good charity. It'd be good.
That would be a good charity cause.
Yep.
So anyway, you want to discuss there's a link to the Panhandle Expo. Thank you, Alana. And we actually have an email. Let me get it because, I'm on all these medications and stuff. Alana, you want to put up the email? So I think it's info@thepanhandleexpo.com, but she's going to put it up there. So the emails, if you get questions about anything, I have it on my desktop now, so I'll be able to answer all those questions. But so Lex, so you're working on yourself, which is amazing.
Yes.
Quality time with your son, which is so important. And info@panhandleexpo.com is the email. So if anybody has questions. So what was the biggest, motors, what, people call, it's like, hey, this is not happening. And most of the time your injector's put in backwards. That is like the most, that's it. that is,
I've done it myself.
I know, it ain't pulling cam. Lexi, did we lose your volume?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
She's in and out.
Yeah, I know, you were like talking. I'm like, I didn't hear her. Yeah, so I'll be good as new. I'm making sure I get enough time to network because last year I didn't stop moving. I know people were there. It's like, you need to have people do that so you can. I'm like, I know, but it was the first time, and I was, woo. And we had a cancellation, so everything changed. So I had to run around and tell everybody, but that's not going to happen this year. We are going to have most of it. It's all tech, so you're going to get a text or you're going to get something for it. But Lex, out of all the events you went to, what do you think that is the biggest takeaway from the events?
For me, networking. I
Yeah.
think my first ever event that I went to was PWNA, CETA down in Kissimmee, Florida. And I went with my dad, and it was just like, for me, and it's a little different because I don't wash, but for me, I put my name and my face in front of every single vendor out there, like BE, Barron's, like, hi, we've been talking on the phone for the last 3 years. Here I am finally, like, we've been best friends on the phones, but here's who I am. So I love networking. PWNA was more networking with like other vendors, and then I brought back like 6, 7 new vendors from my parents' shop, just from like that interaction of meeting and then passing each other's business cards. And then I went to the Huge, and that was really fun, just meeting everyone. That was the first time that like people came out to me and they're like, "You're Lexi, like I've seen you in the groups," and I'm like, "Hello, hi, yes, I am in the group." So that was pretty cool. I think I got to meet just so many people that I've been talking to for years and years and years. But it was more of like a customer meeting basis, which is always really fun to meet, all these people that we get to talk to all the time. So I love networking. I think that seeing all the new products and stuff is really cool, like just the new things that everyone's working on, getting all like the details and the ins and outs. And then also show price flooring. A lot of people who buy things at the conventions get a discount for it being on the floor. So that's another plus.
Yeah, I did. So let me read a couple questions or statements. And Tony Curry says, "You're New York, Lexi. You better get a rig. That's nasty place and he's cleaning everywhere." And then he said, "Money everywhere, Lexi." And then Alana's got the registration side up if anybody wants to do the event, which Anthony, you've been to a lot of events, and a lot of the events are different. So like the Huge is way different than our event here at Panhandle. And it's not bad. It's not, and Jared's up here. He said, "What's up, people?" So it's different. It's a different dynamic, don't you think, Anthony?
Yes, it feels like a totally different environment in my perspective. I mean, it's good to go up there and see everybody. I mean, when I go out, I go up there just to see everybody. I knew everybody's going to be up there. People that lives way off. I mean, you don't see them. The only time you talk to them is on Facebook or something. It's just a good time just to come together. And same thing with your event, but I mean, the Panhandle event, man, it's beyond anything I ever expected. First time I went, I was blown away, and I got hooked. I mean, hook and sinker and all. It's like just throw the life vest out there and get me because I'm drowning in it. And when we come down, we had supper with you and Shane. Me and the wife did, and she's like, this is him. This is what he does now, and he loves it.
Yeah.
Me being just happy and just everything that I've been through in my own personal life, which maybe we'll just take time and we'll share some of that one night, but with just us on here. But I've been through hell.
Yeah.
And me being just happy as I can be now, owning my own business, doing great in it. God's blessed it and everything. And, it all comes down to people that I've put around me, people I have networked with, people I've communicated with. And I'm sure everybody on Facebook can agree with me. Trudi, you are one of the biggest supporters that anybody has in this business.
Well, thank you. And that's what I try to bring to the events is contractors helping contractors. I don't want to pay somebody to come in and tell you can make $1 million if you buy the book, because that's not going to happen. It's not like that. You really have to stay humble with yourself and God and your surroundings and hustle. You have every morning, unless you're booked, every morning you wake up unemployed, you have to go find that job every morning. And the other thing I like is when I talk to these guys that want to come speak or train, and they volunteer, they pay their own flight, they pay their own gas, they pay their own hotel. That is, nothing is given to them. They do this out of the goodness of their heart because they want to better the industry. And that's why I like doing it this way, because that's important to me. And like you said, things happen for a reason. I mean, I went through a lot of pain right after I got my new neck, and I know that I'm no longer probably going to be in there shipping or out there pressure washing. And, this was my sign that I can do something more important. And then I think these lives are important. I think, the information I put out in the group is important because there's things that guys don't know out there that can happen, like the side of a building burning up because they had exposed wires. SH hit it, boom, you're on fire. Mm-hmm. There's things that you don't know unless it happens to you. So that's what we wanted to bring to the Panhandle event.
And you've done a good job of it.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
we got good people. And the contractors, the only reason I'm able to do this is because of these guys out there.
Right.
Those guys out there. I said these, yeah. Either way. I'm medicated.
These guys and gals out there.
Those guys and gals. 10% of the pressure washing women out there. It's 10% now. It was 6. Now it's 10.
Lex, I think Antonio Curry wants you to build a rig and get out there and go washing. He loves to see a woman grinding in the field, and he didn't think it was a thing till he met Trudi.
Oh, thank you.
It is a thing, and most of the women in the industry are pretty, I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on here, but they're pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Are there a lot of, do you see a lot of pressure washers up there?
I've passed by, no, everything is dirty. Everything's disgusting here. And it's so hard because once you're in the industry, like you really do, your eyes gravitate to like everything dirty and everything. It's different though. In Florida, everything was green. Like algae was just eating everything alive. And here it's just dirty. Like, hello? Like use a hose, use something. Like it's all dirty. So I don't think there's too much, especially because of the off season. So I'm a Florida girly. I'm not used to any off season, in the industry. Off season in Florida is like 6 days that they're not working because it's so cold. So up here, it's like, I don't think there's any stores here. Maybe there's a couple. I could be wrong. I don't know if any stores that are up here in New York. So I know there's one company here and they have an actual building, but they're also a roofing company, but I don't see too much. It also just stopped snowing here. So we'll see in the summertime. But definitely not like Florida. In Florida, you drive and every other light you see a trailer.
So Antonio Curry, sorry, they say women do it better. When I worked with Shane, I was more detailed than he was. I would go around and spot stuff, and he's like, they won't notice. I'm like, but I can see it. I'll go with those. I'll do it. So, it's, I think we don't do it better, but I think the different mindset, we're more detailed, not saying that there aren't some men that are detailed. But in general, like we are more, when you're cleaning that your child or, something, you get into everything. The husband's like, oh, okay, it's wet, dry him off his head. It's like we're more detailed with that stuff. So,
fun fact, I've never really pressure washed before. Like I've always been on this side of the field. So
girl, you need to come down.
It'd be totally new to you, huh?
Yeah, so I will train you when I can.
We'll put Trudi on a plane and send her to you.
I've had so many people, they're like, do you wash? And I'm like, no, but I feel like I could pull something out. You know what I mean? Like, I've got all this information. I'm sure.
We're keeping it clean. Robert Willis says, clean it like it's yours, and that's what I do every time, except for I probably have the moldiest house in the damn neighborhood because you don't want to do that when you get home.
I know. Ain't that something?
I'm like looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, that roof is filthy. Like,
What
this-
Tracy used to tell me, said, you go out and you clean everybody else's stuff, but you won't clean ours. That's, no.
So Hunter Bradley's here. He said he's starting to wash this year. Well, welcome to the industry. And if there's anything you need help with, Anthony and I and Lex, well, Anthony and I can mentor you out on the wash side, but the technical side, you can go to Lex. So
I can help diagnose, and
Diagnose.
diagnose.
Don't be putting no NOS in there. The machines will blow up.
yeah,
I can help. Yeah, people they send me videos and they're like, Lex, what's the sound? And I'm like listening to it and like I think it's so that's washing though. I feel like I said, I feel like I could put 1 and 2 together and figure it out. But yeah, definitely with training.
no, it ain't that easy.
It's not rocket science.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, but
It's also not.
that easy. Splash and dash days are done. There's so many new issues that are coming up. You know, we've got the paint issue, which well, actually I've tracked it back to 2005 is when the first house changed. That's when this pigment was made. But because of the supply issues with COVID and stuff, they started making stuff from other products. So you have a copper gutter here that you've washed it, it's fine, but then you have a copper gutter here, and it's like, oh no, what did I just do? It patinaed all over, and now it looks like crap. It's got green, which I guess the point of having copper is to let it patina, whatever it's called, and it looks good, but I don't like it. But everything's different now. It wasn't like it was, you know, in the 1900s where we were. 1000. What am I talking about?
How far back you go?
The 1900s. Yeah. I know what I'm saying, and I thought it sounded dumb, but I'm like, all right, who knows? So, Hunter said, yes, indeed, membership on the wash side. I'm still working on the side doing builds and diagnosis. So, yeah, anytime you want to reach out, that's just all I'm doing lately because I thought doctor was going to release me today, but he didn't. Well, he did, but no pulling, no lifting, no stretching, and 20 pounds. So
You're on light duty.
I'm keyboard warrior now. Just
you can sweep and mop now. That's about all you can do.
No, sir. I got people. That. I do not do that.
It's this motion, Trudi, not this motion. It's this.
Okay. All right. You're about to be on the shit list. You keep going. So, all right. So, Derek, J.R. Brandenburg said, "Sup team, let's line up the talent there. Keep up the good work, girls. We need more of you in the industry. We are growing slowly, but slowly." And then Derek McDuffie, I believe, because his name got cut off, or McDuff. "Hello, guys. I'm here in Michigan, and the weather is extremely bipolar. Same as Florida. Just open up the season with my T-Max. Oh, welcome." And Jonathan, I hate it when they, I can't see the whole name. So Jonathan, anyway, "I really like the Southern Surface Cleaning." I know who it is now. Oh, Speedos look very appealing on Anthony. Well, okay. Why do you red? You just turned red. Was it because you work in Speedos or? Hey, he said
was supposed to tell everybody.
Was right here on the live. So Lois said point and click, because that's how you watch, just point and click. So now there's a lot more, there's a lot of different chemicals, there's a lot of different things that the roofs have changed. TPO roof, now you've got a whole bunch of different cedar shake. There's so many, and you can't use the same product on the same building. So, education is great. So I loop back around for the education. We're bypass your Speedo. We're just fine with that. Whatever you do up there, you do. But
hey, we in Bama, baby.
I'm in Lower Alabama, so I'm not in Florida. That's crazy down there. I'd rather be redneck. But anyway, so it comes back to the events where the training is key because everything changes each year. I mean, there's more equipment, right, Lex? You've had, all the equipment. There's new equipment, new gadgets, new toys. There's so much stuff coming at you, but does it work? Is it what it's supposed to be? Is it going to give you 2.5%? Is it, we lost it. Oh, there you go. Well, now I'm the big person. I don't want to.
Now my screen's up here. I've been looking at myself down there the whole time.
Oh, Alexa's on top of me.
Keeping it clean. Anthony, come on. So Nick said, oh no, Anthony first. Anthony said, I'm trying to get a house to change major color on me. That's not good. Let's not do that. Okay, and Nick said building materials are always changing. More, we need to stay on top of it. Exactly. And then Anthony, only because I work for a couple of painters and I made them aware soon as it happens, going to make you crazy. Okay, so Antonio, he just wants to make a crazy video.
I've been seeing a lot of comments and questions about hardy board here lately too, in our groups. People like, can I wash hardy board? I mean, what do I use to wash it with? I usually just tell them, just test your stuff. Find a place, like you said, you tell everybody, go behind their air conditioner or heat pump or whatever they got sitting out there, or behind a bush, a tree or something. Somebody's always got something in the yard that you can get you a little squirt bottle. I just use straight, because if I put it on that bottom corner straight and let it sit there for a couple of minutes and it don't do nothing to it, my downstream or my AR-45 mix ain't gonna hurt it. And usually I do 2 or 3 spots. I just don't do one spot.
Yeah.
But, you never know.
Ask the questions. Have they repainted a side? Have they done any touch up? I had this guy send me a picture where he did a test spot and it was fine. And he washed the house and it looked like a giraffe, because there were spots that were, because they had touched up, I guess, on the hardy board, the little screws came out or whatever, and they had to use a wood putty or whatever they use, and then they, repainted, and they repainted with the pigment that it failed. So that wasn't good. So, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Explain what it is. And I tell people, reach out to me. I'll give you my cell phone number. If the homeowners need questions answered or whatever, I can do it. So, education on anything. Lex, how do you feel about when guys want to lower the pressure and they're messing with their unloader?
No. Use tips to mess with your pressure, not your unloader. Because there's a stem in your unloader, and if you sit there and crank on it, then you're going to mushroom out and pivot the stem that's inside your unloader, and that's what causes it to go bad so fast.
Yes.
And punching the trigger constantly, because it's putting it in and out of bypass. So every time you're, punching that trigger, it's smashing that stem inside your unloader.
So you change your pressure with your nozzles.
Yes.
So
I get my pressure wash when I get it set where I want it. So I run mine like 22 to 2,500 psi. I try not to go. I don't go no higher than that.
It's pretty good for concrete.
I mean, so I don't really just need to go over there and just, if I feel like I need more pressure, just, is that what you're telling everybody?
Yeah, a lot of people adjust it, like they turn it to get lower pressure to do whatever they need to do with it. Maybe, new concrete or newer concrete, or, that they don't need all the pressure. But to change it, you need to change your tips and not your unloader, because that's what it is. And I know a lot of the new machines, when you have, you go up to the rabbit and down to the turtle, they don't have that anymore on the newer machines, because that was causing a lot of issues and warranty issues through Honda. Did you see that come through, Lex? Yeah. So, you could damage your machine by trying to save concrete. So you have to learn.
Now, what about if we go to the surface cleaner and put a pressure valve on there?
Yep.
Would that work?
It would. Yep.
Okay. I'm just throwing scenarios out there for people that may not know that'll watch this later, but so say if we got new concrete, we could put the valve at the surface cleaner, turn the pressure down. But then when you turn your pressure down, are you going to have to change your tips too?
Right. But you shouldn't be messing with the unloader at all. Set it what the machine is made for, and then change everything with your nozzles. That's the unloader is made to be 3,500 psi, or it's made to be 2,000 psi, or 2,500 psi. So you set it what it's made to be at, and then you adjust the pressure with the nozzles, or I know they have a thing for this surface cleaner, but can't think what it's called right now, but it's on there. But pressure gauge, yes, so you can turn it down on that too. And when you do test your pressure, Lex, come on, where's the best place to test your pressure at? Where do you put that pressure gauge at? As close to your pump as you can get it.
Okay, off the pump. Yeah, I was gonna say off the trigger, and I was like, that's not right. I know that's not right.
All right, so we got
Why would you not put it at you on the trigger?
Spike pressure?
Yeah,
No.
because you need to see if something's going on with your pressure or your pump. But we don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna say, hey, Anthony, put it at the end of your hose, and you needed it, 2,500 psi, but you might be running 50-foot sections, where somebody's running 100-foot sections, where somebody else is running a 200-foot section. So everything's different, and so you need to set the pressure at the pump. So okay, so hold on, we got questions.
We got questions.
More statements.
Explaining
Why he wants to change the color of a house. We got the pressure something, because I can't see the whole name. Hello to you girls. Lexe Harkins, missing you here in Florida. Woman-owned company here. Awesome. That's awesome. And Antonio says, but it's going to happen, so just wait. Okay, well, I mean, I can send you some paint. You can paint something and change it if you want. Actually, I don't really have a lot of paint left because I do it for my tests. All right, so Hunter Brothers said, great topic. Anthony Herba said, hey, Trudi, we're also trying to help with education in the industry with our event, Wash and Learn Midwest this weekend. Education is key. Congratulations. Thank you. If there's anything I can help you with the education, let me know. I can send you some stuff on the paint issues, whatever you need help with. We've got Luke Carpenter. Hey, Mr. D, Lexi, and Anthony. Hey, guys. And then Jonathan. I'm going to just say Hernandez. I'm just saying. I don't know who it is, but it looks like it. And he said, hey there. So, hey there, guys. Welcome. And we got Juan de Jesus. A lot of people use regular wand and long wand loose PSI. I use a 36-inch wand when I'm out. Anthony, what size wand you got? Be clean.
36.
What?
36.
Yeah, that's what we use. I don't like using the ball valve. There's just too much poof. Okay.
Now we do have. We got some McDonald's. They got brand new asphalt down, or they just went in and resurfaced the asphalt and everything, and they have called and said, hey, whatever you do, no pressure on the asphalt. It's brand new, or we just sealed it. Well, everything, no problem. We just pop the ball out and wash it off. Ain't no big deal. But I rinse with ball valve a lot of times. Especially service stations and stuff.
Yeah.
I just open it up until I get to everything's built up. Now you get to a place where all your trash and stuff, your dirt. No, you gotta go back to your one. Especially if you're just running an 8 or 10 gallon a minute, because it just ain't gonna push all that mud and dirt.
I just think for me it was harder on my body to use this thing. It was too much, and then trying to turn it and stop it and everything was just crazy for me. I would rather let go of the trigger and then be able to turn it. Yeah. So we got let me see, regular gun, a long wand, loose PSI. We already said that. Pressure gauge. Use a pressure gauge to adjust the proper PSI. Trudy, do you have surface cleaner pressure adjusters on your site? Yes. PM me and I'll send you the link. Antonio Curry said, just buy a new one, do they say? Okay. Andy Vickers is here. He said, what's up, guys? And then what happens when you get a 1/2-inch whip hose, then reduce to 3/8 200-foot hose? I mean, it really doesn't matter because you're going to reduce it down to a 1/4 inch at the end of your gun anyway. So pulling 200 foot of
1/2 inch hose would be.
well, no, he said 1/2 inch whip. Yeah, so we tried that when Shane had his 10 gallon a minute. He changed to 200 foot sections of 1/2 inch hose, which is so heavy. And he's like, he didn't notice a difference. He didn't notice a difference when he put the first 50 foot on 1/2 inch because you're reducing it down anyway. I mean, your surface cleaner nozzles, your J-rod nozzles are all 1/4 inch. So you're going to have the thrust, but it's just going to trickle down anyway.
So what would you do in the case, Lex, if you had 2 8s, you're going to Siamese them together to make 16, would you run 1/2 inch hoses? Or would you leave them with 3 8s?
I mean, from like shop standard of what I've been with, we'd go 1/2 inch whips. And then more than likely a 25 or 50 foot 1/2 inch section and then down to 3 8s. But normally that's just what the customer wants too. Right. And in this industry, I'm not going to argue with someone who's like, oh, I saw a YouTube video and I
question. I'm like, does it make a difference? Like we tried it on our rigs. And
yeah, that's the big question.
So I keep asking when I ask them, I call them like, why do you want that? And they think I'm being mean. I'm like, no, I want to know. Like, I really want to know if I can tell people what difference does it make? Like when Shane put the 3 8s back on, which is way lighter, 3 8s 1 wire, because 1/2 inch is all 2 wire, plus it's way bigger. It's way heavier. And he said it really didn't make a difference if you had 1/2 inch or not. So I'm hoping somebody on here will pump.
I mean, if you're running 8 gallons a minute, it ain't going to matter what size hose you got.
Right.
It's still going to put 8 gallons a minute out. Correct, Lex?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only recently I feel that, like, I remember first starting in the industry and 8s were like here and there. Like not everyone was running that, and now everyone's like, I want 57 gallons per minute, and I want it to fit on my 5x10 trailer, and I have 25 gallons of water. Right. So we see like just the increase of how big the units have gotten over the years. Like, holy crap! Like it really is evolving every day. There's someone's thinking of something, someone's redoing something, someone's coming up with something. So it's crazy to like see how everything's just in 5 measly years. Like so much has changed.
It has.
I don't see where I would use 55 gallons a minute at. I mean, we're going to put a fire out.
Let me set your house on fire. You can use 55 gallons a minute. Okay, so we got Alex. So I'm helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. Casey Cahill said, I'm new to pressure washing. He might need a mentor. Anybody know if wants to mentor Casey? Yeah, no, maybe.
Casey Caudell, you said?
Yeah.
Sounds like he'd be good in the industry.
So the pressure is different. Andy Vicker said max gallon per minute through 3 8 hose is 11 anyway. So Robert Willis said keep it simple. Keith Pickett said subtle differences, but the user can differentiate. The words coming in different. I'm not saying it. Okay, based on their needs. It's in my mind, Rob. It's not going to come out of my mouth. So Jonathan said, why not go 1/2 inch all the way? It gets heavy, but the flow is there. But you still go down to a
but
quarter.
He's going to 3 8 when it comes out of his end of the surface cleaning room.
Yeah.
But his is just 1/2 inch from his trigger to his swivel on his surface cleaner.
Yeah.
Is I think how his is set up, which my Mini Mondo set up like that. I think it's got 1/2 inch hoses on it.
Yeah. All right. I only run on my surface cleaner 1/2 inch all the way to the swivel. So I want to talk, Jonathan. Let me know because I want to know because people ask me and I'm just like it doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to run 1/2 inch, it's going to go to 3 8 on your gun and then go to a quarter. It doesn't make sense.
You're running 3 8 hose off your trailer. You're hooking it into a trigger.
Yeah.
Which you're reducing it down right there anyway, but it's going through that trigger. Right?
Yeah.
Then you're going to go from that trigger through a coupling or a bushing that's going to You got flow restriction there into your half-inch hose. Coupler.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're going to run probably half-inch from the trailer all the way and just eliminate the trigger.
I did have a guy that wanted a half-inch gun. Like it was a lot of money, but
What?
they're there. Yes, yeah. So instead of 3/8, it was half-inch, but still, you're going to reduce it down to your.
If you're running a 10-gallon a minute unit, you're going to put out 10 gallons a minute regardless.
Right.
I mean, regardless if you got 3/8 or 1-inch hose. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me.
That's what I'm thinking. You're reducing anyway, so it doesn't make sense to pull 200 foot of half-inch 2-wire. But I want to know from Jonathan how it. We got Tanya Hay new here would like to quote. How would you quote a trailer home? Is it same as quoting a house wash? 100%. Yes, we go square foot. I mean, usually depending on how far away you usually turn these down. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, what kind of structure it is. If it's a trailer or modular or a brick house or a vinyl house, you charge by the square foot, right? And make sure you have a minimum.
Yep.
Make sure you have a minimum before you go out there, because you go out there for $75 to clean this single wide and you just drove 45 minutes both ways, and you got the chemical, you got your time, you got your fuel, you got everything. So make sure you have a minimum, which we do. Our minimum's 250. I don't know what yours is, Anthony.
About 350.
Damn.
Huh?
Boy, you are just, I don't know. I'm not having you come clean my driveway with that prices. I'm kidding. But I'm giving you shit. All right. So
I got a question up here for me.
I'm working them now. Okay. Yeah. Is it down more? Okay. Whoa, we got a lot of people here. I run a half-inch whip and 200 foot half-inch hose. IGX 800 10-gallon a minute. Never ran anything different, so I'm not sure how it would to go 3X. That's exactly what Shane has on his, is the IGX 800 10-gallon a minute. And you know what he uses right now?
3/8.
He got the MoFlow, so he's not.
He don't even surface clean no more. I know what he does. He goes out there and cleans his valves up, and he just dumps SH all over people's driveway. They ain't got a weed to eat for the whole season.
Right, yeah. He does that liquid edging. Andy Vicker said half-inch hose for 24 foot after injector will allow more consistent flow rate for ratio, or can go down one size orifice on the injector and achieve the same thing. My trailer, when I say my trailer, because I'm probably not going to use it anymore, because, God gave me a gift and told me to calm down, so he broke my neck just so I would. Sorry, that was a little bitter, but it happened. But our 9-gallon, I'm going to be bitter about not being able to go out and wash full time, just so you know. I'm going to be saying shit like this all the time. So on the 9-gallon minute, I use a 2.1 injector. I drop down.
I got on my 8. I think I got one on my 5.5 too.
Well, you should be on your 5.5. You need to be going down to 1.8 if you want to pull the same chem.
I don't know. Of course, pretty hot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I smell out of my 5.5 more than I can out of the 8 when we're pulling it.
Well, because it smells, it's because it's sitting there trying to get out. You need to let it get out there with the lower injector.
Getting out there.
All right, so
send me one tomorrow. Put me one in the mail. I'll put it on there and try it.
Suburbia house washing or parking deck cleaning, a little different. So he's probably asking about commenting on the trailer. Sorry, my mouth is getting dry from the damn medicine. Okay, so the gun and flow switch are the biggest flow restriction. Yes, exactly. Anthony, you mentioned a mini Mondo. What do you like about it versus a 24-inch surface cleaner?
Well, I got it. My 8 don't push it as good as I wanted it to, so I went back to my 24 BE. And but as soon as I'm either going to put another 8 on the truck, or I'm gonna go to a 10-gallon and siamese the 2 8s together, or go with a 10-gallon a minute, so it'll push it a little bit more. This guy was leaving more streaks than I wanted to leave, like any streaks at all. I don't like them. But it just wasn't cleaning as good as I thought it was going to clean. So I just stuck it back in the shop and just letting her rest for a little bit. She broke her neck.
Yeah. Oh, it did too. I ain't just so clear. So, the rule of
She's popping a beer over too, I heard.
yeah, no, it's 7-Up. So, the rule of thumb is 4 inches per each gallon per minute you run. Correct. So if you've got a 4-gallon minute, what you need to be running is your 16-inch.
Yeah, I run the 16 off of the 5.5.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like rule of thumb is yeah 4 inches for every gallon per minute. So if you've got a 4-gallon minute machine, 16 is going to be your max. You don't want to go bigger than that. You can go lower. Like on my 9, I always ran the classic whisper wash. I ran a 19 on my 9-gallon minute. I loved it. I had tips correct. It wasn't hovering. It wasn't shooting up in the air like you would think. It did awesome, and I could run with that thing because I got 9-gallon minutes with the
Right.
so I could run. And Shane's there with his 10-gallon minute with his big guy just trooping along, and I'm like, shoop, 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 shoop. There's a video out there. It's awesome. All right, so more questions. We got Alex Davis said, what kind of downstream injector should I run on a 4.2? The lowest is going to be a 1.8. So that's what you're going to have to run on there. And Mike Tully's here. Hey, Mike. And he's jumping on this. He's a local guy to me. He's pretty cool. He was one of the pressure washing guys, one of the 4 companies that were here when we got started. So he's, we're all good buddies and friends and everything. But yeah, he's been in the industry a little bit longer than us in the area. But there's been no bad blood. We've been good. So Lex, let's talk about you some more.
My birthday's on Saturday.
Talk, so I'm doing bad at following directions. So Anthony, you got any questions for Lex?
Don't make them too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, she's looking amazing over there as always. But no, I mean, I'm hoping somebody else have some questions. I'm not questioned out.
My birthday's on Saturday. I'm almost 30.
Almost. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Happy birthday.
Whew. Yeah, I'm almost 32.
I'll be 27.
Oh.
What? 27?
I know. Can you believe that?
She's
My baby.
young.
Luke Carpy's in
Trudi, she's still a baby.
I know. My baby boy is older than her. Oh my gosh. Most of the guys on here are older than. I mean, that's why I'm the pressure washing mama, because everybody just comes under my wing, and
I'm not old enough to be nobody's mama in this industry.
I got you covered. As long as they don't start calling me grandma, I'm good. Just
right.
Hey, there's been your nickname for you.
Oh, Hunter Bradley, thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday. If you're not on my friends list, I always wish everybody happy birthday. But if you're not on there, then I miss you. So
have you got room for anybody else?
I have been going through. The good thing what I've been doing is going through on my birthdays, and I've been every morning I'll look and I'll go check and make sure they're in the pressure washing industry or who they are and if they're active or whatever. And so I've been deleting people, but no, I've been at 5,000 and they won't let me have any more friends.
Are you professional mode?
Yep.
Oh,
I can have followers, but not friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who is Meta to tell me how many friends I can have?
Right. Excuse you?
Facebook.
Hey, we got Matthew on here. He said, "What's up, Trudi, and happy birthday to Lex." And
Thank you.
nothing for you, Anthony. I'm sorry, he doesn't have anything.
Well, I do have a question.
Oh, yeah.
If you take 2 pressure washers, you Siamese them together, you have to have them both set at the same PSI, and they have to be the same gallon per minute, right?
It doesn't have to be. It's just, isn't it just more wear and tear on your unloader?
So when you have
you running 2 unloaders, though, correct? Or are you running it all into one unloader?
Oh, Siamesing 2 units into one versus 1 into 2 is what I was
saying. Hunter, making your birthday private. I mean, I should do that because I'm old, but you have no reason to do that. Anyway, so what it is when you Siamese, it's going to take the highest PSI and it's going to come over that, or the lowest. The lowest? I think it's the highest. The gallon per minute doesn't matter, but it's going to take one or the other. I think it's the highest PSI when you Siamese them.
I have no idea.
I believe that's what it is. I haven't been in the warehouse so long, but I think it's going to take the highest PSI, and that's what they're going to use with the gallon per minute. It's not going to average out for some reason. It's weird.
But I mean, you're running off two machines, and you Siamese them together. I mean, you're going to still have two unloaders, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're just running one, you're going to have to pick the one your unloader's running through.
Okay, it is the lowest. It's going to be the lowest. Thank you, Derek. I forgot. I haven't been in the warehouse in November. So.
I was thinking it was the lowest, but I wasn't going to say something and be wrong and look like a dum-dum.
Hey, that's why I threw both of them out there, just because I'm going to be right either way. Or I could be wrong either way. Who knows? But, yeah, it's going to, okay, thank you. It can be lowest. So on the trailer that I work with, it's got two 9-gallon minute hot water machines, all diesel, the pressure washer, and there's a Hydromax. So it's all diesel, the whole thing. And it already has a built-in Siamese that will give me 18 gallons a minute. I've never used that because I would be a kite flying around holding my ball valve flying around in the air. That would be way too much. But because it's already one unit, it was pretty cool when we bought it. That was the first one we bought after we had the two used Pressure Pro units. So where would you put a pressure gauge after you connect the two? I think you would have to set them both separately before you.
Still going to run them right out of your unloader, aren't you? Right at you.
So you have to use a pressure gauge on both pumps to make sure where they're at before you Siamese them.
And you'd want to run them both the same. You wouldn't want one at 3,000 and one at 2,000 or 2 and 4,000.
Even though we're not supposed to mess with the unloaders.
I know, but I'm just saying you wouldn't want to set one a higher PSI than the other.
You would set them to what the specs are for the pump. And then it would pull the lower one. Because if you set it different than what the pump is set for, it's going to be more wear and tear on the pump.
Cool.
Okay. Damn, I didn't know I knew all this service stuff. I'm proud of myself. Hold on.
You just pat yourself on the back.
No.
The gauge per pump on the pump. What Andy Victor said.
Yep. Thank you, Andy. I don't like another one because I was right. Anyway, so Lex, are you planning on going to any of the events this year?
November the 5th and 6th.
Yes. I really want to go to your event, Huge, and PWNA. I also think it'd be a good time to just make a trip to see family. But yeah, I definitely want to go. I know last year FNA offered to let me go, so I think that I could definitely team up with someone and make an appearance. I want to go to your event though. I've never been able to go to your event.
I know.
Every year it's like,
oh, this year it'll happen. Right, Anthony? It'll happen. Anthony, hello? Did you get lost?
Hello? No.
Okay. I don't know where you went, but I asked a question. So we're going to make it happen that Lex is going to come to the event, right?
Buy her ticket, fired.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll just put her to work.
I'll just roomie with you.
Hey, we'll just take them donations, them $100 donations to throw them balls at that dunking tank, the dunker in. I mean, yeah, we'll get her down here.
That's true. That would pay for it.
Yep, that would. Okay, could you connect a 2.4 gallon per minute and a 4.2 gallon minute together to make more PSI? You can, because I've seen guys use a 5.5 and 8. It's going to be based on your lower PSI. So you can Siamese them, and you're just going to get the lowest PSI. So if usually you get, I find that the lower gallon per minute is going to be the higher PSI. Like you get a 4 at 4,400, but you get an 8 at 3,500, which is crazy. So we got the unloaders have to be the same. I'm building a setup now. They have to be trapped unloaders set at the same pressure. Now I've heard different, so I don't know. I mean, it'd be good to look into. Guess what I'll be doing tomorrow morning? Looking into all that while I'm wearing my looks like a Unabomber thing. I've only got 5 more months left of that.
Of your neck brace?
You what?
Of your neck brace?
No. I've got it's a bone growth stimulator, so it's got a timer right here. And it's all around my neck, and it shoots magnetic signals, so my bones merge with whoever's neck bones I got in my neck.
They look like she's got a bomb tied around her neck.
It looks like, if I came around with a little thing like a black remote, people would freak out. So I had my grandson's backpack in my car because I picked him up yesterday, and my son called and said, well, he needs it. And I'm like, oh no. So I had to have my son go and take it. I'm like, I've got this thing on my neck and I can't pause it. And I'm like, I'm not going to knock on the school's door with something that looks like a computer on my neck. I can't do it.
That would have been hilarious.
Not in today's world.
Mike, thank you for your service. He said, love you, Trudi. I'm signing off. I have a Marine Corps reunion I'm going to in Houston, Texas. Will you safe flight? And thank you for your service, Mike.
Thank you for your service.
And Andy Vicker said I've run flow actuated unloaders together for years. So there's a lot. What I love about doing this is this. So I make these posts pretty much every day. I make this post for a conversational post. It's not to say I'm right. I'm not selling you anything. It is an educational post so we can hear, like we're doing here, is people's different opinion on what they've done and what they've used and how it works. And that's why I love making these posts. Some people get mad at me and it's like, you should put it in the search bar. I'm like, I know the answer. I'm just, putting it out there so there's a conversation. And
right.
That kind of stuff helps other people. And I like doing it because I see when new guys come up and they ask a question, and all these guys just jump on them with negative and like, oh, why are you even watching if you don't know this? That drives me nuts. And I understand that some people know more than others. It doesn't make them stupid. It makes them that they haven't done it before. They haven't learned it. They haven't learned skill. So, oh, next, is your baby crying?
You can hear him. He is.
Yeah. We're almost always should be done. But anyway,
because he's such a mama's boy, and sometimes dad just will not cut it. So that's why he's upset because he can't come in here.
But anyway, that's the reason I make these posts. That's the reason why we do the events, is to educate and help. And I know the events, we have basic classes, but it's really not basics because the chemical, like we said earlier, the chemicals, the machinery, and everything change so fast that you can go. I learn something every time I go, and with all this new tariff stuff, like China is 54% tariffs. Now the stuff's not going to be made there and brought in. It's going to be made here, and it's going to be so different. And it's, what I mean? It's going to be new because, Trump, which he wants to bring all the stuff back to America, which it should be. But now we're going to have to learn again. We're going to have to know this product. We're going to have to learn new stuff that's coming out that we didn't have before because it's going to be different. So it's always going to change. And we always have to learn, because if you're not learning, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're not making a difference, and you're not putting that money in your bank. So
Lexe, you got anything?
I am so glad I didn't talk a lot on this podcast.
I mean, sometimes, Lexe, you just got to jump in here and just cut her off.
She's so good at it, though.
Oh, okay.
Just cut her off.
I already had that done. Anyway, we're going to close it down. We're a little bit late. Lex, I want to thank you for coming on and talking. And I want you to just close it out so you can go to your little baby. Was it your son that was crying or your boyfriend?
My son.
Your boyfriend. Which one's the mama boy? I'm just asking.
My son. But yeah, thanks for having me. And I definitely want to do this more often. I'm working on getting back out there the way that I used to be out there and hitting it a little harder on my end. So I'm very thankful to be in this industry, and I'll forever be thankful for the network and the group of people that I've made over the years. So thank you guys for having me, and I love talking to you both.
Well, we miss you, and what? I mean, I'm on the phone with you a lot, so I mean, it's
always good to see old friends. Or young friends. Let me put it that way. But anyway, if you ain't got registered, guys, you need to go to panhandleexpo.com. Get registered for the event. It's in Panama City Beach, Florida, the beautiful town of Panama City Beach.
And who does not want to be at the beach in November?
It was nice down there last year.
It was beautiful, perfect weather.
Yeah. So go get registered.
I'm glad we didn't do it in January. It would have been fighting snow.
Yeah. Snow in Florida.
That would have been a bomb. That would have been a bomb show right there, Trey.
It would have been one for the books, because I don't know. I can't say I don't think that it's going to snow.
I think people would even try. I think people would have made it.
I think so. It's a good show. It's a great event. I think we gave away about $25,000 worth of gifts.
There's no telling how much stuff we gave.
There were 2 surface cleaners, 4 machines. There was hoses. There were.
At one company emptied their table and put it in bags.
What? Veloci emptied
gift bags and brought it to us to give it away, and they were like 15 bags of stuff. Veloci was probably $500 in each bag. It was insane. So it's great to see you guys both, and we'll be on here next week, me and Anthony. And Lex, you will be on here whenever you want to be. So I'm glad you're here, and thank you for your insight and being so lovely as you are.
Thank you.
And Anthony, thank you for being you. And tell your wife she's lovely. And
you walked past me a while ago, went in that room right there.
Yeah.
She don't think nobody can see her. She's trying to sneak. Yeah. Zeus didn't come in here and get on there this time. He usually does.
But anyway, so we're done. I would thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. And we got more happy birthdays. Lex, you can read the comments after, because there's a lot of happy birthdays to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, we're done for the day, guys.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Take care.
You can be there. So have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.